and they might not go. I love you forever. I nobody like you. Come with my friends and my family. I can't do without you. My baby, oh, you be my strength and my power. You already know. If you do anything for your matter, yeah. My baby, oh, I feel your mountain for you. I feel highest thing for you. Do anything you want me to do, yeah. Oh, yeah, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, yeah, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, yeah, come here, baby. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, yeah, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. My baby Kilimanjaro. Um, my baby Sparrow. Um, my baby Kilimanjaro. Um, my baby Sparrow. Darling, now only you wanna see from my dream boy. I don't care. Love me the strong, I don't want to be right here. You be my sugar, sugar, and I love you forever. You can't put us under, under. Make it the mental. Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah, come here, baby. Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. My baby Kilimanjaro. My baby Sparrow. My baby Kilimanjaro. My baby Sparrow. My baby fine, they romantic, child. They romantic, my baby sweet, you know they sing me. I swear you know they sing this from my back. Hey, you do me well, hey, it's all about. I look like Chapo. Come and my friends and my family, and I want to meet you. I care about you, and I love you, baby, yo. You be my strength and my power. You already know. I say do anything for your matter. My baby, oh, it's all my thing for you. I feel highest thing for you. Do anything you want me to do, yeah. Yeah, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah, come here, baby. Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Ooh, 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 ooh. We want to edit this, yeah.
And good morning, wonderful people. How are you doing this wonderful morning? It's been on a Wednesday. How are you feeling this wonderful morning? It's on 5th of May. The time here, it's 20 minutes past 11. And I hope you're having a great morning. Personally, I've had a hectic morning, but I'm so grateful to be happy and then, to be joining new people. And of course, thank you for streaming into the Black Hot Fire Network. This is the Pan-African Bliss Show. And my name is Joby. You can get hold of me on my social media handles, that is on Facebook at the Black Hot Fire Network, on Instagram at the Black Hot Fire Network, and of course on Twitter. Use that hashtag Black Hot Fire Network and hashtag Pan-African Bliss Show as we look forward to have an amazing discussion today. Tell me, how is the week coming along? Tell me also where you're tuning in from. As I said, personally, I've had a very hectic morning, but I'm so grateful. I'm so super grateful to be here. Tell me where you're listening in from, and of course, we that was come here. So that means, I want you to come here, people. I want you people to stream. I want you people to call your people. I want you to, get to discuss and have an amazing, interaction and discussion with me. Today, we're gonna be talking about some amazing moments and amazing topics which we're gonna be looking for. And of course, if you have missed any of this show, do remember to get hold of us on our platform, that is www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And of of course, you can also get to download our app that is on the Google Play Store and get to listen some amazing vibes, because we're all about positive vibes. As I always say, we don't want negative energy running around us. So thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna take a short break, then we're gonna be right back. Please, do not touch that button, and also tell a friend to subscribe, because we're all about amazing vibes, all about African music, all about hits, back to back, So keep it live, and we're gonna be right back. Keep it the Black Hot Fire Network, media of the 21st century.
The life you live, because of the steps you take, the world we live, it's part of the ecstasy, the lessons learned, it's part of the deep to see, to infinity and beyond. In that trying to get my beyond, count my blessings and move on beyond, get that not to move out, to infinity and beyond. In that trying to get my beyond. My blessings and move on beyond it. Get time not to like 1 year. And light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. I'm gonna roll it up. And light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. I'm gonna roll it up. And light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. I'm gonna roll it up. And light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. Mind over matter. You can be anything you dream. There's always be a calm when you take them when you learn. They used to fly high and land above the stars. I remember like asking me, you want to be a star? You think you got all these stars to go far? Many men them come and many men them fall. So what you got that different? Who do you think you are? I told him I'm a star. I told him I was blessed. I told him that I'm in, I'm born a real star. I told him it's a test. I told him it's success. I told him we got all we need to go far. Pain and I guess I feel like heavy stress, but maybe that's the push we need to go far. It's a marathon, not to think that we are racing. We got all we need to win, now we relating. And light it up, inhale the good and exhale the bad. I'm gonna roll it up, and light it up, inhale the good and exhale the bad. I'm gonna roll it up, and light it up. I light it up. Hell the good and exhale the bad. We are lighter, we are lighter. 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 The love you get, it's because of the love you get.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, and you're tuned in to the the Black Hot Fire Network, media of the 21st century. Where are you tuning in from? Where are you listening to us from? And of course, do remember to interact with us on the Black Hot Fire Network. That is on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course on Instagram. Give us your thoughts as we get to interact and have some amazing discussion this wonderful morning. And tell me, how is the week also kicking along? It's been on a Wednesday. It's ladies' night. I don't know where you are, where you're tuning in from, or where you're listening to us from. If you are allowed, it being a ladies' night, ladies are supposed to go out, ladies' night out. So what are your plans? Or are the COVID-19 restrictions, denying you the fantasy, or are you going out or having the plans of you going kicking in with your friends today? You do remember to interact with us. That is on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course on Twitter you can use the hashtag Blackout Fire Network and hashtag Pan African Bliss Show. Get to interact with me as we have some amazing discussion. How is the morning this wonderful morning? Mine, as I said, as I began the show, mine was super hectic. I had a very hectic morning, but all in all, regardless, I'm still grateful. And as that goes, as I get to motivate myself and keep a smile on my face as I, get to interact with you, family, I'm gonna give you an amazing quote today that is going to motivate you as you move on with the day. And the quote goes by: "Smile is the greatest possession. Try to change the world with your smile, but do not let the world change your smile." Good morning. And again, I repeat, the quote goes by: "Smile is the greatest possession. Try to change the world with your smile, but do not let the world change your smile." Good morning. I don't know if you can feel the vibe of this, but I believe it has a very, very powerful and a very strong message. Like, I don't know how you feel whenever you're frowning. There's always that negative energy whenever you're in that sad mode, and people trying to bring your self-esteem down, or hanging around, people who are trying to bring your esteem down, or making you frown all the time. So ensure that all the time you having a smile in your face. Always find a reason, even if you're sitting alone. Do you remember those good moments that you have shared with your friends, those good moments that you have shared with your family? That is one way or another, a good reason for you to have a smile in your face, because it's on a daily basis that we get to meet different people in this life. People who are meant to change our lives. There are people who are meant to destroy our lives. So it's up to you to choose whom you really want to hang around with. Do you want to be around those people who want to make you frown? Do you want to be around those people who want to make you happy? Personally, I want to be around those people who make me happy, and that's you, family. Because as I say here, it's all about positivity. Keep it positive, keep it positive. We don't want any bad negative energy. We don't want any bad negative energy coming around. And I'm so grateful and blessed to be here this morning as I interact with you. Today we're going to be discussing some amazing topics, and I do believe that our show has begun a little bit late, but regardless, we're still gonna move on and have some amazing vibe. Do interact with me on the social media handles, that is Facebook on the Blackout Fire Network, on Twitter. We use the hashtag Blackout Fire Network and hashtag Pan African Bliss Show. And of course, it's Ladies' Night Out. It's on a Wednesday. Where are you planning? What are your plans? Are you planning to take your lady out? Maybe there are no COVID-19 restrictions, because I believe there are some countries whereby I have seen people clubbing, and I've seen people going out partying all night. But here in Kenya, we're not allowed to do that because the COVID-19 restrictions are still there. The curfew is still there. So there's no way a club can run from throughout the night, because the curfew restrictions starts from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. whereby you can get to, start running your businesses. And of course, as I speak of this the curfew and the COVID-19 restrictions, whereby we know the president last week or during the weekend, he got to give out a speech whereby he allowed he removed the lockdown and allowed people to run their businesses normally. And I've seen people, trying to congratulate the president, saying, we appreciate that you have allowed us and have allowed our businesses to go back into in the normal way, because I believe there are some people who are really affected, especially the people who work in let's say the buses which run from the rural area to Nairobi, from Mombasa to Nairobi, from Nairobi to Mombasa. These people are really suffering, and mind you, they do have families. But we do get to appreciate our president for hearing our cries out, for listening to our nation, and we are really thankful. So it's been on a 5th of May. It's still a new month. The month is still new. It's like when you turn a year older, and whereby you're still celebrating. It's just the 5th of May. And of course, I got to ask you, last week, and of course on Monday, whereby we were having amazing interactions with you, family. And I was asking, do you make any affirmations, each and every time, whereby you kick in a new week, or whereby you kick in a new month, whereby you kick in a new year, do you have those affirmations or manifestation whereby you put them, or maybe you say them? Others are good at saying, and whereby words, words are really powerful. I believe the word of mouth is really powerful, and whatever you want and whatever you say, it comes to pass, because mind and the mouth, mind, especially the mind, because most of our lives lives in the mind, because it's whereby you get to think about something and the mind directs you, I have to do this. So without this, like, there's so much energy in the mind, and of course so much energy also, so much power, that whereby your mouth can say anything and it comes to pass. So are you the kind of person who makes manifestations or affirmations, or whereby you get to pray and ask God, I need this and this and this in this month, and you just pray about it, and it's gonna come to pass? Or are you just that kind of a person unasema tu acha twende nayo, like, let's just go how it goes, let me just go, let me just play the role by how life is gonna play? Are you the kind of person who wants to make a positive change, or you're just there waiting for change to come at you? Because I said, if you really want to start something, if you're willing, like you have a business or an aim or a goal, whereby you want to start, and you have the minimal amount of you, and you're like, this amount won't be enough, start with the little that you can. Because hey, ukisema kesho utapata mwana si wako, like, hey, tomorrow, you're not gonna start anything. Gonna be stuck, and you're not gonna elevate in any way. But anyway, regardless, I hope this quote did motivate you in any way. Always put a smile in your face, despite everything that you go through, despite every challenges that you go through, because we as human, in a daily basis, we do go through challenges. In a daily basis, we get to go through, we're emotional, others, everything, things do revolve in our lives in a daily basis. But this quote has really motivated me. Always put a smile. The smile is the greatest possession. Try to change the world with a smile. Do not let the world change you. Now, my underline the word, do not let the world change you. Do not let the world change you. That is very, very powerful, because I do. It's like the way I've just touched it earlier, whereby I said, it's how you choose to live your life. Are you the kind of person who wants to hang around people who are making you down, bringing your self-esteem down, and you just think like, it's okay, it's okay, they're just saying, but you're not happy at all? Are you the kind of person who wants to, hang around people who are full of positive energy and full of positive vibes? I'm the kind of person who wants positive vibes only. I don't want any bad energy around me. That's why I always keep on telling you, family, keep it positive, and always put a smile on your face. And that brings us to the topic of today, whereby this quote, where it touches on the do not let the world change you. When you allow the world to change you, there's peer pressure involved. Peer pressure is involved. So we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back. But do not allow peer pressure change you, darling. Do not allow peer pressure change you. So we're going to take a short break. I'm going to play you a song called Ikebe Super. I think you guys are already familiar with this song. It's sung by Josie J, all the way from Nigeria. Do not touch that button. We're going to be right back.
Just a video, baby, you don't send me, I get the chills, and I get the shots. I go cook you nice pepper soup, with lots of my sauce. I go do the dance together, give me like the right to my back. Trust me, I will rock you body. You go love me more like I got. You be like, hey, I like it, shocky in my body. You like say, baby, I like it, shocky in my body. Let me feel your sexy touch all over me. Give me nicely all over me. I can feel your love all over me. Give me plenty all over me. Let me feel your sexy touch all over me. Give me nicely all over me. I can feel your love all over me. Give me plenty all over me. I'm running high up here. Everybody dance, super. Oh Oh, you know to give me super. I say make me dance, give me super. I said the better, give me sweeter. You tell me say baby I like her more. I said the dance, give me super. EJ love. I love the sweet because your love. This your love now, this your love now, tender. Super sweet, I'm on the killer. Come in the Tracy, I plenty suya. From Anambra to America. My love for you, baby, no go scatter. You know go scatter, you know go scatter. You know go scatter. You know that I feel you sexy touch all over me. Give me nicely all over me. I can feel your love all over me. Give me plenty all over me. Let me feel your sexy touch all over me. Give me nicely all over me. I can feel your love all over me. Give me plenty all over me. I feel you now, I feel my baby love now. Oh, you make me dance, give me super. My baby love, give me super. Everybody dance, give me super. Oh, you dance, give me super. It's just a video. Give me super.
And we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, and you're tuned in into the Black Hot Fire Network media of the 21st century. Do remember to interact with me or interact with us on the Facebook, that is at the Black Hot Fire Network, on Instagram at the Black Hot Fire Network, on Twitter, of course, and you can use the hashtag Black Hot Fire Network and hashtag Pan African Bliss Show. And if you've missed any of this show, whereby you wanna, catch, watch any of our videos or any of our topics, any of our programs, whereby you can also share with friends, by liking, commenting, and telling a friend also to subscribe. You can get all of us on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And of course, you can also download the app on the Google Play Store. That is the Black Hot Fire Network. And of course, get to, catch some amazing music, African music, hip hop music. We're all about positivity. We're all about, entertainment, and of course, some good, some good vibes. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I had introduced you to the topic that we're going to be discussing today. And, I began with a quote. If you've missed any of this, if you're just tuning in, I said, smile is the greatest possession. Try to change the world with your smile, but do not let the world change your smile. Underline, but do not let the world, underline the word. It's like whereby, I remember when I was doing exams and I was in primary, our teacher used to tell us, be careful whenever you're reading questions, do check the underlined words. That's where you get to find the answers. So here it says, smile is the greatest possession. And of course, you do know, whenever you're having a smile in your face, whenever you're happy, it brings peace in your life too. Happiness comes with peace too. So smile is the greatest possession. Try to change the world. Try to change the world with your smile, but do not let the world change your smile. Do not let the world change your smile. So I don't know how you feel about this quote, but I think it's so motivating in one way or another, because I do believe in a daily basis, as I said, we do face a lot of pressure. We do face life pressures. We do face a lot of things. People are going through a lot of things, especially if we check on how the COVID-19 has really affected us since last year. And we're so grateful here in Kenya, especially because our president got to hear us. He got to listen to us, and whereby he removed the lockdown, and of course people can start running their businesses in a normal way. People can at least got to travel. People can travel in and out of Nairobi, because people were really affected in one way or another. And of course the curfew time, which runs from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., whereby you can start running your businesses as well. And the topic of today I had introduced, we're gonna be discussing about peer pressure. Peer pressure. And when I talk of peer pressure, it's in a lot of ways. It can be, a life peer pressure, a career peer pressure, or anything that, peer pressure comes with a lot of things. So I'm maybe the question you're asking yourself, why do people get involved in peer pressure, or why do others, find themselves living in a world or living whereby they are having a lot of peer pressure from other people? I think this can come to because others want to be liked. Whenever you are under peer pressure, it's because either you're looking up to someone, let's say a celebrity, maybe a radio presenter, maybe newscaster, any way or another. So peer pressure, it's led by whereby you want to be liked, maybe by people. You feel like you don't fit in, you're scared of other people's thoughts whenever you're dressing up. I think I have this, I can tell from my own experience, whereby, or maybe your own experience, of which it happens daily, whereby you're dressing up, you're in the mirror, then you're looking at yourself, then you're like, there's that person who clicks in your mind, and you're like, what if this person says me like this? Are they gonna like this dress, the dressing code? Or maybe, when I work out, are people gonna get impressed by my dressing code? Are people gonna like my makeup? Are people gonna like my suit? Are people gonna like my new shoes or my new jeans? That's one of the peer pressure, because you don't feel like you belong. You don't feel yourself. You don't feel like you belong where you need to be. You don't feel, I don't know how I can really put this, but you just feel like you don't fit in. It's like you don't really love yourself. That's all I can say, because you're looking up to others. You're looking up to others for them to give you a decision, or maybe make a decision for you, of which I think it's really, 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 really wrong. Really, really wrong. And of course, we're going to be checking also the causes of the peer pressure. What really causes peer pressure, and how can we even handle this? Because I do believe when we talk about peer pressure, this is something that begins at the age of, when someone is at their teenagehood, that is from the age of 15 and 18, because there's a lot going on. That's whereby emotions change, the body changes. You want to look like this person, you want to dress like this person, but you feel like you don't fit in. You're not appreciating yourself good enough. And of course, you can interact with me. That is on Facebook at the Blackout Fire Network. On Twitter, use the hashtag Blackout Fire Network and hashtag Pan African Bliss Show. And of course, you can also follow us on Instagram and interact with us, family, and tell me what you think about peer pressure. Have you been conquered, or have you found yourself in a way whereby you feel like or maybe if you've faced during your teenagehood, or maybe currently at the age that you are in, are you under peer pressure, or have you ever once been under peer pressure, and how did it affect you, and how did you overcome it? Of course, we're gonna take a short break, then we're gonna be right back. And if you have missed any of these shows, do remember also to find us on www.blackoutfirenetwork.com, and you can also download the app that is on Google Play Store, that is the Blackout Fire Network. We're gonna take a short break, then we're gonna be right back.
This is Blackout Fire Radio, media for the 21st century. Hey, yeah. Iko gizani kila time na mini ya mwanadamu. Nalipa price kubwa sana jumiuko sanga amani. Bili ameshona uongo, mazi utaitamani. Mina mani yangu jo, yo kitu ya dhamani. Utapiga mazejo, mteja patikani. Utashinda umeteta na kushoita video jipange. Unaingia shimo kubwa juu unapendanga kupewa. Maisha ya nai ikikushinda enda ocha ukalime. Mimi nimechoka, sipendi kukaa nikaa nimesota. Na heri kusota, ukiomba utabaki kingoja. Na ukiomba, mazi itabidi upangane na hoja.
na hizo mahoja heri uombe zikuwe mahoya. Nalipia stima mi sibaki gizani, naandika mizani zangu mingi, mimi msanii kaunitaki ya mi sikutaki, nasonga mbio sana sikuhitaji. Nilikuwa nimeparara sasa napiganga pasi, nilikuwa nakaa mushadha sasa nakaa kawesi. Ikitokea wanabaki wakicheki, ikiongea wanacho wakimeli. Nacha kelele najua kimya silaha ya mamba, naona target yangu pale na yangu kiaka mwewe. Utahisi baridi utajua hujaonja barafu, vile nakuja kasi utaona mi sinanga breki. Mi napenda mahedi nachukianga ushenzi, na sipendi watu lezi wale hawajijengi. Get to the bag, acha tabia za kubaki kaa umeketi. Heshimu masaa, acha kupea duwazi chakula malezi. Anakuhepa kila time, yeye ako mastendi. Anavangepa akiwa hepa ndiyo usicheki. Hela kadhaa yatarusha kwa wale hawampendi, wakikataa yanarudi kimwanampotevu. Nalipia stima mi sibaki gizani, naandika mizani zangu mingi, mimi msanii kaunitaki ya mi sikutaki, nasonga mbio sana sikuhitaji. Nilikuwa nimeparara sasa napiganga pasi, nilikuwa nakaa mushadha sasa nakaa kawesi. Ikitokea wanabaki wakicheki, ikiongea wanacho wakimeli. Yeah. Niko gizani kila time. Yeah. Niko gizani kila time na mini ya mwanadamu. Nalipa price kubwa sana jumiu kwa sanga amani. Vile ameshona uongo maze utaitamani. Mina amani yangu jo yo kitu ya dhamani. Utapiga maze jo mteja patikani. Utashinda umeteta na kushoita bidi jipange. Unaingia shimo kubwa juu napendanga kupewa. Maisha ya nai ikikushinda enda ocha ukalime. Mi nimechoka sipendi kukaa nimesota, na heri kusota juu ukiomba utabaki kingoja. Na ukiomba maze itabidi upangane na hoja, na hizo mahoja heri uombe zikuwe mahoya. Nalipia stima mi sibaki gizani, naandika mizani zangu mingi, mimi msanii kaunitaki ya mi sikutaki, nasonga mbio sana sikuhitaji. Nilikuwa nimeparara sasa napiganga pasi, nilikuwa nakaa mushadha sasa nakaa kawesi. Ikitokea wanabaki wakicheki, ikiongea wanacho wakimeli. Nacha kelele najua kimya silaha ya mamba, naona target yangu pale na yangu kiaka mwewe. Utahisi baridi utajua hujaonja barafu, vile nakuja kasi utaona mi sinanga breki. Mi napenda mahedi nachukianga ushenzi, na sipendi watu lezi wale hawajijengi. Get to the bag, acha tabia za kubaki kaa umeketi. Heshimu masaa, acha kupea duwazi chakula malezi. Anakuhepa kila time, yeye ako mastendi. Anavangepa akiwa hepa ndiyo usimcheki. Hela kadhaa yatarusha kwa wale hawampendi, wakikataa yanarudi kimwanampotevu. Nalipia stima mi sibaki gizani, naandika mizani zangu mingi, mimi msanii kaunitaki ya mi sikutaki, nasonga mbio sana sikuhitaji. Nilikuwa nimeparara sasa napiganga pasi, nilikuwa nakaa mushadha sasa nakaa kawesi. Ikitokea wanabaki wakicheki, ikiongea wanacho wakimeli. And we are back. Welcome back to the Pan African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. You're tuned in to the Blackout Fire Network, media of the 21st century. It is all about listening, engaging, and transforming. And of course, do get to interact with me on Facebook. That is the Blackout Fire Network. On Twitter, use the hashtag Blackout Fire Network. And of course, use the hashtag Pan African Bliss Show. And of course, you can also interact with me on Instagram. That is at the Blackout Fire Network. And if you missed any of these shows, you can get hold of us on www.blackoutfirenetwork. And of course, you can also get to download the app on the Google Play Store. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can see you, Derek. Welcome to the show. We are discussing an amazing topic today. And of course, this is Msanii. The song is called Msanii by KJ. And it basically speaks about the topic of today. It actually speaks everything about today. I think it's a guy, because he has kind of an auto-tune there, He speaks about whereby, where you get to interact with people, or you meet some new friends and they get you into the life peer pressures, or maybe the peer pressure that we face on a daily basis. But people, when you get involved with other certain people who are full of negative energy, they're gonna drag you in a very bad road. And of course, I was asking, where you're tuning in from. You can also tell me where you're tuning in from, and also tell me how is your Wednesday coming along. It's been on a Wednesday. It's a ladies' night out. Where are you? Are you planning to take your lady out? Because in Kenya, in Nairobi, we are not allowed to club because the curfew starts from 10 p.m. We wish things could go back to normal, because I miss going to the gym. I miss dancing on the floor, because but we get to appreciate, because our president has allowed, has removed the lockdown, and of course people can run their businesses in a normal way, especially the buses which travel from to and from the rural area to Nairobi, from Nairobi to the rural area, maybe from Mombasa to Nairobi, from Nairobi to Mombasa. These people are really crying out loud, and of course the president has had our cries, which we really, really appreciate. So we were talking about peer pressure, and I was asking, have you once in a lifetime, or maybe currently where you are, maybe the life you live in, have you once lived under peer pressure, and what was the cause of it, and how did you overcome it? And I was looking at the causes of the peer pressure. And I've seen that there are 4 types of peer pressure. There is spoken peer pressure, there's unspoken peer pressure, and there's direct peer pressure, indirect peer pressure, there's negative and positive peer pressure. And all this has a lot. And when we speak of spoken peer pressure, I think this is my own definition, whereby I think it's whereby, where a person comes to you and tells you can you do this, or maybe lights you up a cigar, and you just like, because he's doing it or she's doing it, why can't I try it? And that's when you end up being influenced into so many bad things, into so many bad cases, and you end up regretting later in life. And unspoken peer pressure, I think it's whereby you look at something, maybe you see people doing it, they have not told you, but you just want to try because they are doing it. This is always because a person is doing it, you want to try. Peer pressure is whereby, because you've seen someone else is doing it, and maybe you're in their circle, maybe hanging around maybe some celebrities, because I believe, or maybe I've had, whereby when you become a celebrity, you have to be using drugs. Others do claim that you have to be using drugs, you have to, drink, you have to be using cocaine, you have to be using codeine. All this is not necessary. All this is not necessary. Why don't you just live your life? If you are a sober person, why don't you just live a normal life? I think this unspoken pressure is whereby you just see people doing things, and because you feel like you don't fit in, you're trying to do things to try to fit in, to look like them, and of which you're gonna end up in a very, very bad ditch, and you're gonna end up maybe your health is gonna be affected. Maybe these people are used into the same thing, but it doesn't end so well. And when we look also at the direct peer pressure, it's whereby I think it's whereby you just get to do things directly without even thinking, whereby you just seeing people doing things, you just want to do it. You're not even thinking straight. You're not even having a conscious mind about it. And when you look at the negative peer pressures, whereby pressure whereby you use alcohol, as I said, it's also, I think, about the same as the unspoken peer pressure, whereby you get to use alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, and to engage into risky, risk-taking behaviors. And distraction also, if you're because I said distraction from school, because I said peer pressure is whereby I think it affects most people at the age of teenagehood, 15 to 18 years. That's where you get to get a lot, because you're going to interact with a lot of people in your primaryhood, in your secondaryhood, in your collegehood, and of course you're going to interact with a lot of people, whereby you're going to be tempted to do things that you never thought that you would do them. Then you're going to come regretting later and ask yourself, oh, why did I do this? Just because flani alifanya hivi. Then you think it's possible for you to also do them. People have different kind of bodies outside here. People have different kind of hormones and everything outside here. And as we also look at the negativities, at the end of the day, we need to know how to solve them. And why would you engage yourself into peer pressure? Why don't you just love yourself? Why don't you just love yourself? Appreciate yourself. The moment you appreciate yourself, others are going to appreciate you. Trust me, that is always the vibe. Always appreciate yourself for others to appreciate you. We have seen the causes, and of course, we're going to take a short break. Derek, do interact with me. Tell me, have you once in your lifetime been under peer pressure? And of course, if you have been under peer pressure, tell me, how did you overcome it? Or maybe what was the cause of you being under peer pressure? Did you get to use drugs, whereby like in the likes of where they say, well, if you hang around celebrities? Because personally, I can say I do hang around celebrities a lot, but I don't have to do whatever they are doing for me to feel like I fit in. No. They claim that if you hang around celebrities, or maybe if you become a celebrity, you have to be using drugs, you have to be, partying, you just have to be rude, you have to be, because let me tell you, these people are in the limelight, and whatever they do, if they do anything wrong, there's always someone or somewhere, maybe they are managers, or there's always someone who's gonna come up and cover up for them. What about you? Utabaki matahani, dada. Utabaki hapo. You're gonna be left there in the dark, and no one is going to help you out. So, do you think, whereby, when you get to hang around like celebrities or a certain group of people, do they really influence us into peer pressure? And if they do, personally, if you do, or maybe currently you're in that state, how can you handle the situation? Or maybe how did you handle the situation? Do interact with me on Facebook. That is the Blackout Fire Network. At the Blackout Fire Network. On Twitter, use the hashtag Blackout Fire Network and hashtag Pan African Bleach. And of course, you can also interact with me on Facebook. Tell me, how did you overcome peer pressure? Or have you once been under peer pressure? And if yes, how did you overcome it? Or maybe what was the cause of you being under peer pressure? Because it happens at the stage of teenagehood, whereby, at the age of 15, at the age of 18, because you're growing, you're going to face a lot of people, you're going to, interact with a lot of people, you're going to see the world. You're not young anymore, whereby, your parents are going to tell you, you don't have to do this. Of course, they tell us not to do it, but you're gonna do it behind their doors, behind their eyes, without them seeing you. But how did you overcome it? How did you overcome it? Because I believe when you hang around some certain unwanted group of people, that is when such things get to happen, and you feel like you don't fit in. You feel like, I'm not doing enough. I need to do the most, just to feel like I'm one of these people, and of which is really not necessary. You feel like you're not being liked. You feel like you're not wanted, and all this begins with yourself first, because for you to allow peer pressure to attack you, that is because you're not appreciating yourself enough. you're not really loving yourself enough. And of course, by the moment you start loving yourself, you young kid there, or maybe you adult there, that is when, these things you're gonna now, or you're gonna have the power to say no to such things. Interact with me on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course on Instagram, and get all of us of our videos of any of the shows that you might have missed. That is at the www.blackoutfirenetwork.com, and you can also get to download the app at the Google Play Store. We're gonna take a short break, then we're gonna be right back. Please do interact with me, family. Tell me, or maybe you're having a teenage daughter whereby they are going through all these things. How will you help them to overcome, or maybe not to face the same things that you might have faced later? And we are back. Welcome back to the show. This is the Pan African Bliss Show. My name is Jovi. You're tuned in to the Blackout Fire Network, media of the 21st century, where we're all about listening, engaging, and transforming. At the end of the day, we want you to walk out with something positive in your mind and, of course, in your life. And you can interact with me on Facebook, that is at the Blackout Fire Network, and of course on Twitter, whereby you can use the hashtag Blackout Fire Network, hashtag Pan African Bliss Show. And of course, you can also interact with me on on Instagram. And if you've missed any of our shows, any of our programs, whereby you want to know what were they really talking about, or what was this conversation, while you're just curious, because here we're all about positive vibes, we're all about music, fresh hits, fresh vibes, and of course, an amazing topics. You can get all of us on www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And of course, do remember to download the app at the Google Play Store. That is the Blackout Fire Network, and that is to support our media stream. And it's 12 minutes past, it's 4 minutes past 12, sorry, it being the 5th of March. And I did get to ask you earlier as we were beginning our show, are you the kind of person whereby when you're kicking in a new week or in a new day or in a new month or in a new year, are you the kind of person who writes down, who always puts down on paper, your manifestations, your affirmations, or, you get to talk to God and tell him, I need this and this and this by the end of this year? But of course, you can't ask God or maybe ask the universe to give you all this when you're not making any plans. Maybe you're having a $1 and you want to make a business, or maybe you want to open up a shop, or maybe a grocery shop. Maybe you have $2 and you feel like, this amount is not enough. I need to raise more. You're going to keep on waiting, darling. You need to start with the little that you have. You need to start with the minimal amount that you have. And trust you me, business grows small by small, little by little. And at the end of the day, you're going to earn your profits, and God is going to bless also the work of your hands. So welcome back to the show. We were discussing an amazing topic, and of which it's really getting me so interactive here with Derek. And I was asking, have you undergone peer pressure? Have you undergone peer pressure once in your life? And if so, how did you overcome it? Or maybe what are the causes? And how did you overcome it? Because peer pressure is whereby, it's something that faces a lot of people, a lot of human beings, at the age of 15. Of course, I can say 14 because it depends on the hormones. It depends how your hormones runs, because other people do mature quickly, other do mature in a slow way. So it begins at the age of 15 to 18. And this is whereby, in your maybe in your primary hood. No, not in your primary. This is on your secondary hood. Because on primary, I don't think there's a lot of peer pressure. I can't really say so. It begins in your high school, that is in your secondary hood, and of course in your college hood, whereby you're in high school, and when you turn in, to get to go into college or maybe university, of course, you're going to interact with a lot of people. You're going to meet a lot of friends. There are others who have positive peer pressure. There are others who have negative peer pressure. So it's up to you where you're going to end up when, if you feel like you don't fit in, if you feel like, you're not being liked enough, if you feel like you're not smart enough, if you feel like, your clothes ain't expensive enough, or maybe your shoes ain't the kind of label that you really need, like your friends, of course, you're going to end up in the negative peer pressure kind of thing. And if you're the kind of person where you feel like, you're the hero of the group, you're the you can do anything even without them, that is the positive kind of pressure, because you can overcome anything, I think. And I was asking, if you have undergone peer pressure, what were the causes? And of course, we've got to see some of the peer pressure, or maybe 4 types of the peer pressure. And I did get to touch on the spoken peer pressure, where I said it's whereby I think whereby people, they do get to tell you what to do, and because you want to fit in or feel like maybe you belong to the group, or maybe for you to be liked, for you to fit in, that is whereby people influence you to do things that you never did, and they are things that are going to harm you in either way, or maybe get you in a risky situation. That is the spoken peer pressure. There's unspoken peer pressure, whereby you just look, maybe you're in a certain group of people, or maybe you hang around celebrities a lot, or maybe you see what celebrities do. Maybe a certain celebrity is influencing you. You want to be like Jay-Z because Jay-Z does this, because Jay-Z has an afro hair. You also want to have an afro hair because he wears big, maybe he wears maybe Balenciaga or maybe which kind of shoes, you also want to fit in. You're gonna maybe steal some money for you to feel like Jay-Z. This is the kind of unspoken peer pressure whereby you just look and you do things because you want to feel like the other person. You're not appreciating yourself enough. There is direct peer pressure and indirect peer pressure, and of course we also got to spoke about negative and positive peer pressure, whereby we saw negative peer pressure is which leads you, to the use of alcohol, cigarettes, drugs and a lot of things which are gonna put you into risk. And of course, if you're a student, it's going to distract you from school, because I said this is the period whereby you are at the age of 15 to 18. This is during your high school moments and your college moments. So how are we going to, at the end of the day, as we look at the causes or maybe the negative things that cause peer pressure, how are we going to solve how can we overcome peer pressure? How can we overcome peer pressure? Sorry, how can we overcome peer pressure? You can interact with me on Facebook, and you can interact with me on Facebook, and of course you can also interact with me on Twitter by using the hashtag Pan-African Bleacher and hashtag Blackout Fire Network. And of course you can also get hold of us on Instagram, that is at the Blackout Fire Network. And if you've missed any of these shows, do get hold of us on www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. Do interact with me. Tell me, have you once ever been under peer pressure, and how did you overcome it? We're gonna take a one short break as we come to wind up the show, and of course we're gonna see how we can overcome peer pressure. This is Inhale by Lexi Wolf. Do not touch that button.
This is Blackout Fire Radio for the 21st century.
And we are back. You're tuned into the Black Hot Fire Network, media of the 21st century, and this is the Pan African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, and we were having an amazing discussion whereby we were talking about peer pressure, and I got to ask, have you once in your lifetime, been under peer pressure? What were the causes, and how did you overcome it? Do get to interact with us on Facebook, that is at the Black Hot Fire Network, on Instagram at the Black Hot Fire Network, and of course on Twitter. Do use the hashtag Black Hot Fire Network and hashtag Pan African Bliss Show. And of course, if you've missed any of these videos too, you can get all of us on www or any of our program on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. So we got to see the causes of the peer pressure and at the age of which peer pressure really affects most of us. And now we want to look at the how we can overcome peer pressure. How can you handle peer pressure? Or maybe if you're hanging around people who make you feel like, where you feel like you don't fit in, you feel like you're unwanted, you feel like you're not liked enough, you feel like you don't have those expensive shoes, those expensive clothes, you just want to be like Jay-Z, you want to be like Beyonce, this kind of peer pressures. And we're going to start with the negative, how to handle negative kind of peer pressure. And this by paying attention to how you feel. And when you say paying attention to how you feel, this is by, when you hang around some people, let's say, like how I said, when you're hanging around celebrities where you feel like, because they're smoking cigar or they're smoking weed, you also need to smoke weed. Pay attention to how you feel. If you've never used any of these things, do not use it. If you feel like your intuition or your instincts are telling you, I don't want, I don't have to do this, please don't do it. Listen and pay attention to how you feel. You can also plan ahead. Like, do I really necessarily need to go and meet up with these people? Can't I just do anything else that is going to improve my life in any kind of way? You can also get to talk to a person who is pressuring you. So how do you get to talk to Jay-Z? How do you get to talk to Jay-Z? But it doesn't have to be Jay-Z or any other kind of person. It may be even your closest friend. Maybe they are influencing you or maybe pressuring you into something that you really don't want. Talk to them. Let them know how you feel or maybe how it makes you feel, and tell the person to stop, pressuring you. If it has to end the friendship or the relationship, let it be. That is for your own good, darling. That is for your own good. Also, have a secret code to communicate with your parents, because at the age of 15 to 18, as I said, this begins at the age of 15 to 18. It's whereby you face a lot of people because it's during your high school moments, your college moments, or university moments. You can also get to interact with your parents, by telling them, I feel like I'm going through this and this. Trust me, our parents are never gonna say no. They're always looking forward to giving you advices, because I don't believe not most of the kids will go in front of their parents and talk to them or maybe let them know about the situation that they are really going or maybe facing in school, especially when it comes to peer pressure. Do have a communication, a secret code, how you're going to approach your parents and tell them this kind of issues are affecting you. Also, you can give an excuse. Let's say you need to hang around maybe this kind of people who are making you feel, you feel like you don't fit in, you feel like they're not liking you enough, you feel like you're not enough, give an excuse. You don't have to trust me. You don't have to give an excuse. Oh, I have to rush where. Just give an excuse. And lastly, least but not least, have friends with similar values and benefits. Have friends with similar values and benefits. You don't have to smoke weed. You don't have to use drugs. You don't have to wear those expensive shoes. Hang with people, who are of your same class. Hang with people who are of your same level. Because, darling, if you keep up with these celebrities, especially because most of them also are living under peer pressure, trusting me, you're going to end up in a ditch, as I said. But anyway, it has been nice, being interacting with you. It's 16 minutes past 12 here in Nairobi, and the weather is really, really chilly. And of course, it has been glad, interacting with you people. Thank you so much, Derek, for tuning in. Thank you. If you have been listening, do remember to also tune in into our next shows, which is about to happen in a few. Thank you so much for interacting with me. Thank you for keeping it the Black Hot Fire Network. And of course, thank you, Keith, for giving us this platform. We are going to end the show, and I'm going to say kwaheri, kwaheri, kwaheri. It has been glad, being here, and it's always a vibe.